dance through the highways, and on we'll go.
Hey und herzlich willkommen zu einer weiteren Folge Genshin Impact. Schön, dass ihr wieder mit dabei seid. So, wir sind hier letztes Mal stehen geblieben und ja, wir haben jetzt die Quest auf Alcor, also auf das Schiff Alcor zu gehen und Beidou zu finden. Und ich hoffe, dass wir somit auch endlich nach Inazuma kommen. Wir werden es sehen. Vielleicht sind wir endlich so weit. Ich bin gespannt. So, schnell noch darüber gleiten. Sprich mit Beidou.
Ah, you finally made it. All these years, come rain or storm, the Crux fleet has never suffered a delay. If it were anyone else, I might have set sail already.
Es ist eine Ehre, an Bord zu sein.
Don't look too serious, I'm only joking. You're just on time. The crew have just finished making final preparations. Well, now that everyone's here, we set sail for the land engulfed by storm and tempest. The nation of eternity.
Anchors away!
Nachdem sie mit einem wütenden Sturm getrotzt hat. Ja, toll.
Oh, hi there. So, you finally made it. You sure kept me waiting, Captain. And it appears we have a couple of stowaways. Or perhaps I should say, honored guests.
Shush!
You can blame your almighty Shogun. The tempests around Inazuma have been growing all the more fierce lately. Though the fleet was fully up to the challenge, the inclement weather still caused some delay. Now then, let me introduce everyone. This is Thoma, a trade partner that I've gotten to know recently.
You don't know how long I've been waiting to see you.
Thoma, these two are...
Oh, no need for introductions. Their reputation precedes them. Seems even the stormy seas can't keep rumors of these outlanders' sterling deeds at bay.
Freut mich, dich kennenzulernen, Thoma.
Oh, it's sure nice to hear you say that.
With any luck, it'll give you a head start here. Thoma's resided on Rito for quite some time now. It wouldn't be going too far to say he's the fixer around these parts. If you run into any problems here, just talk to Thoma. But if he tries to pull any moves on you, I'll be sure to deal with him personally the next time I'm around.
No need to worry. I'm sure we'll get along just fine.
Good. Then if it's all settled, I'll be going. I wouldn't want to be caught with my sails down here. I do have a wanted fugitive on board after all.
Oh, right. Kazuha.
Until next time, traveler. Remember to give it your all, no matter what perilous storms you may encounter.
Freue mich schon auf ein Wiedersehen.
Fair seas, Captain Beidou. Bye-bye.
Now then, first things first. We need to go get you registered at the border checkpoint.
Paimon thought we were supposed to be keeping things on the down low. Are we just gonna walk into the government's hands?
Don't underestimate the reaches of the Sakoku Decree. You wouldn't be able to avoid inspection even if you tried. So we have to play by the rules, even if we're kind of bending them.
Na gut. Wir haben es halt nicht geschafft, ich kann es kaum glauben. Beichte eines Fremden. Folge Thoma und registriere dich am Grenzübergang. Oh. Alter! Ups, da habe ich zweimal gespeichert. Alter, wie schön. Meine Güte. Aussichtspunkte nehmen wir mit. Wie schön ist bitte dieses Spiel. Das ist Wahnsinn. Das sieht toll aus. Wie das mit dem Ei spielt, ist auch so putzig. So, genug fotografiert, meine Güte. Ja, was ich sagen wollte, ich konnte mich gar nicht mehr so richtig an die Sequenz erinnern, wo wir hingefahren sind nach Inazuma mit dem Schiff und so. War eigentlich schön zu sehen. Ich wusste gar nicht, dass Kazuma mitgefahren ist, nur da hier gesucht wird, kann er nicht aussteigen. Deswegen, ja, sind wir jetzt hier auf uns allein gestellt. Wohl auf uns allein gestellt ist auch die falsche Antwort. Wir haben Thoma. Also ich habe mich auch sehr gefreut, dass ich gerade Thoma gesehen habe. Ich finde den Charakter mega sympathisch. Ich habe den aber, glaube ich, nicht im Team. Also nicht hier, oder? Den habe ich noch nie gepullt. Kann das sein? Nein, ich sehe jetzt auch keinen Thoma. Nö. Okay, also Thoma haben wir noch nicht gepullt. Ich hoffe, dass wir den auch irgendwann dann mal bekommen. Ja, ich mag den Charakter eigentlich sehr, sehr gerne. So. Was haben wir da Schönes? Das können wir noch abholen. Das war's auch schon. So, eine weitere Quest. Ach, das ist diese. Gut, dann gucken wir mal, wo Thoma ist. Also zur Aufseherin? Scheint so.
Hello? Please state your name, identity, and the purpose of your visit. Oh, except you, Thoma. You must be new here. Excuse me? Please provide the information requested and also declare any goods you are carrying with you.
Oh Gott. Ja, schwierig. Was sag ich dir denn? Eigentlich soll ich ja nicht so viele von mir preisgeben. Andererseits, glaubt die mir, dass ich Wein handle und Erz? Ich weiß ja nicht. Boah, keine Ahnung, was sage ich denn? Ich finde beides doof. Wir sind hier, um meinen Bruder zu finden.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. We cannot approve entry for purely personal reasons. So, unless you have a valid reason for visiting in accordance with the rules... My apologies, but I'll have to ask you to...
Here are their entry papers, for your kind perusal.
What? Take your time. No rush or anything.
Was? Wieso denn jetzt erst? Ja, wirklich.
I just wanted to see what you'd say. Sorry about that.
I see. Okay. Your papers are all in order. Welcome to Rito.
So, where do we go next?
The Outlander Affairs Agency. They only check entry permits here. If you want to remain on Rito, there's a process you have to go through with them.
Sheesh. So it is super strict, just like everyone says.
Well, let's not forget that to everyday folk in Inazuma, people from everywhere else are referred to as outsiders. As the word suggests, Outlanders aren't very welcome in Inazuma with the Sakoku Decree in force. Not even on Rito, where they've established an outsider settlement.
Willkommen oder nicht, wir haben keine Wahl.
I like how you think. I've got a feeling we're going to get along very well. Now, let's head over to the Outlander Affairs Agency. Most of the current rules were put in place by the administration of Rito, the Kanjo Commission.
The Kanjo Commission?
Yes, one branch of the Tri-Commission of Inazuma, responsible for growing and managing the nation's wealth. You really haven't heard of it before?
Nee, tatsächlich. Zumindest zu diesem Zeitpunkt. Dann geht auch hier hoch. Wahrscheinlich da. Okay.
You've completed the entry procedures, yes? And now you want to apply for residency? Both of you?
Yes, please.
Okay, the processing fee will be 2 million mora.
3 Millionen Mora?
2 million? For a processing fee? Are you serious?
That's right. 1 million per applicant, which makes 2 million total. Don't worry, you can trust my math.
Paimon wasn't so much questioning your math as...
Ma'am, these two here are good friends of mine. I think you'll find I'm one face you recognize.
Ah, Mr. Thoma, it's you. By way of courtesy, allow me to reduce it to 400,000 mora total.
Das ist immer noch viel, aber das ist ein ordentlicher Rabatt.
Thank you ever so much, Miss Eureka. But as this is just a processing fee, I think 600 mora should cover it if I'm paying on their behalf. I'll treat you to dinner too. How does that sound?
That's not how you haggle! By all means, bargain the price down, but...
Alright then, as you wish, Mr. Thoma. I will make a record.
Much obliged.
Die Anmeldung des Wohnsitzes wird reibungslose Agenturbüro, keine Ahnung, abgehandelt.
She went from 2 million down to 600? There's something seriously wrong with people's sense of finance around here!
Ja, Thomas scheint ein richtiger Charmeur zu sein, ne? Also, wenn man den Preis so drücken kann, nicht übel, nicht übel. Ich glaube, es geht um mehr als um Geld. Erinnert mich an noch jemand, der ein seltsames Verhältnis mit hat. Ja, das stimmt.
It's not as mind-boggling as you think. A processing fee is just a figure of speech. The way some here at the agency see it, the fees are easy money, so it becomes a question of how much they can make. So when the day comes that some poor merchant from overseas with more money than sense gets stuck here and needs to apply for residency...
Then they'll milk them for all they're worth!
Exactly. It's at times like this that having a local friend really comes in handy.
Ehrt sich da niemand?
Yes, but when you're an outlander in Inazuma, far from home in this closed nation era, there's very little that can be done about it. The most that overseas merchants can do to look after themselves is stick together. That's how the International Trade Association came about.
So it's a trade association built by and for Outlanders?
Yep. And as well as advancing commercial interests, the association provides help, support, and structure for Outlanders trying to survive on Rito. Essentially, it's an association devoted to both commercial excellence and survival skills.
Joe Regan kommt mir unerreichbarer vor als je zuvor.
Sounds like just staying alive is an achievement when you're an Outlander in Inazuma.
I see. So this is the real purpose of your trip. Yes, given that you are Outlanders, it's certainly a lofty aspiration. After all, the Raiden Shogun is the most exalted and revered one in all of Inazuma. She is a deity who reigns on high, while all other life gazes up in awe.
Muss trotzdem einen Weg finden.
I was going to say nothing is set in stone when it comes to who you will encounter in this world. Who's to say you won't happen to run into the Raiden Shogun one day after lunch?
Uh-huh. And is that likely?
Okay, I'll give it to you straight. I know of a way to introduce you to the Raiden Shogun.
Really? Wow, the Rito Fixer is better connected than we thought.
I mean, it will take all the resources I have at my disposal, but it can be done. However, before we get there, connections come at a high price, you understand?
Not you too.
No. In this instance, when I say price, I'm not talking about Mora. In fact, there's no real cost as such. It's just that if this is something you really want, you'll have to agree to help other people solve some of their problems first. I like to do things in a way that keeps everybody happy. It's my own personal rule for dealing with situations like this.
Sounds very reasonable to Paimon. You're the man in the middle, so you have to trade favors to keep everyone indebted to you.
Also, was sollen wir tun?
Why do I get the feeling you're making me out to be some sort of crook? Never mind. Here's the situation. As I touched upon earlier, the members of the International Trade Association are constantly struggling to survive. Recently, things seem to have gotten more difficult than ever for them, so just go and check things out. See if there's any way you can help. The head of the association is called Caricio, and he's a good friend of mine. Go talk to him. I'll wait for you here.
Zu den internationalen Handelsvereinigung und erkundige dich nach den Mitgliedern der Gilde. Okay. Können wir machen. Weil ich da schon stehe, machen wir natürlich hier auch noch ein Foto. Ah, mit dem kleinen Dino. Also ich glaube zumindest, dass ein Dino darstellen soll. Oder etwas in der Art.
I really want to go traveling. I don't mind where we go, as long as I have my friends with me.
Oh, warte. Ah Mann, jetzt muss ich wieder die Dings ausblenden. Persönlichen Informationen. Das ist doch ein schönes Bild. So. Und wo? Unten irgendwo? Vielleicht?
Huh? Hello there. You must be seeking refuge with the International Trade Association. The Outlander Affairs Agency took you for all you're worth, I suppose.
Aber wir hatten zum Glück einen Freund dabei.
Ah, good. That's a relief. You need to be careful, or you'll find yourself losing your savings all at once.
We heard the association has been having some difficulties lately. Is that true?
Yes. Left, right, and center. Obstacles at every turn. But that's nothing new for us.
The Sakoku decree certainly makes things difficult for anyone who wants to come here from overseas.
But it's not the root cause of our woes. The Sakoku decree might restrict our scope of activity, but in and of itself, it doesn't stop us from being able to enjoy a comfortable existence. No. What's really squeezing us Outlander merchants dry is those Mora grubbers from the Kanjo Commission.
Oh, of the 3 commissions, that's the one that oversees everything on Rito, isn't it?
That's right. They impose astronomical tax rate, unbelievable regulations, and that's not the worst of it. They just issued a new tax decree recently that, for some reason, completely changes the way we pay our taxes. It used to be Mora, but now it's something called Crystal Marrow.
Crystal Marrow? What's that?
Something that most of us in the association had never heard of before either, until the new decree came along. Eventually, one of the older Liyue merchants recalled that he once shipped a batch of it to Snezhnaya in his youth. So, in order to pay our taxes, we began an arduous search for this Crystal Marrow. But then we found we'd only managed to create a bigger problem for ourselves. The rising demand for Crystal Marrow drove the price higher and higher. Now there's only one vendor who even has it in stock. We can't get a hold of it anywhere else.
Isn't that what they call
Exactly. So this vendor keeps pushing the price up, and we have no choice but to buy from them because the tax decree forces us to. It's a vicious cycle. The consequence of which is that our taxes will soon exceed our profits. And once that happens...
Das ist doch absurd.
We've tried communicating with the Commission directly, but this is a nation where the cries of a few struggling merchants will never be heard over the ever-present roar of thunder. Fontaine, my dear homeland. I miss you an awful lot at the moment.
Sounds awful. They're really bleeding them dry. What do you think we should do?
Sollen die versuchen, mit der Kanjo-Verwaltung zu verhandeln?
But Karisu's the head of the association, and even he hasn't had any luck. Not to mention, we're Outlanders too.
Right. And besides, I think this may well be the fate they've ordained for us.
Okay. Well, we could try tackling the problem by going to the other party involved.
That vendor... I've actually done business with him in the past, but after a point he stopped contacting us. I have no idea where he sources the stuff.
Well, it definitely sounds like he's being unfair. How do we find him? We could go talk to him and see if he lets anything slip.
Hey, that's a pretty good idea. Since you're not affiliated with the association and you're new to Rito, he may just let his guard down. If I remember correctly, our usual meeting point with him is under a tree by the coast in the residential district. See if you can find him there.
Got it! We're on the case!
Er ist der stärkste von Mondstadt. Mhm. Beistand des Fremden für den Händler, der das Kristallmark verkauft. Alter, also erstmal gehen wir zu dieser blöden Statue und decken hier mal die Karte auf. So ist doof. Ich möchte was sehen. Hallo, guten Tag auch. Ich laufe da mal durch, ich hoffe, das stört nicht. So, Münze nehme ich auch noch. Na, gucken mal. Die erste Statue von Inazuma. Ups. Offen steht dir diese Welt, wenn Edelmut dein Herz erhält. Et voilà. Gute alte Inazuma. Und da drüben seht ihr ist Liyue. Mondstadt, Liyue und dann hier schön übers Meer drüber haben wir dann Inazuma. Genau. Aha. 10 Stück für das erste Level brauchen wir. Ja, da drüben kommen wir erst hin, wenn wir ja, uns da durch die Quest gekämpft haben, sage ich jetzt mal. Weil momentan ist das eher noch so für uns gesperrt. Ich sehe gerade auf der Karte, hier müsste irgendwo ein Elektropulus sein. Heißt der so? Ich glaube schon. Mal gucken, ob ich da irgendwie hochkomme. Oh, oh Gott, sieht voll buggy aus. Nein, wie der Dino fliegt, ich kann nicht mehr. Wie geil ist das bitte? Ach, wie süß. Oh, oh, wir sind richtig. Sonst haben wir hier aber, glaube ich, nichts Interessantes drauf. Hey. Oh, dann sehen wir hier wenigstens jetzt ein bisschen was auf der Karte und wo wir hin müssen. Irgendwo weiter runter. Wahrscheinlich am Wasser oder so. Ja, mitten im Nirgendwo. Ah, guck mal. Werner. Das nehmen wir noch mit. So, hier noch abholen. Ja, ich weiß, da müsste ich aber zu, oh, Catherine können.
Huh? I don't think I recognize you. Are you new arrivals?
Ja, wir sind gerade erst angekommen.
So, what do you need with me?
Wo kriegst du deine Ware her?
The sheer nerve. You don't go around asking questions like that. If I gave you my sources, I might as well hand you the whole darn business. Trade secret. Got it? You know what trade and secret mean, right?
This guy's got a bad attitude.
Kannst du deine Preise reduzieren?
Ha! Are you even buying? Oh, I see what's going on here. Kurisu and his associates sent you here to try and plead their case, didn't they? They're wasting their time. The price is non-negotiable, not by a single Mora.
Hey, what's your problem?
Get out of here, go on. Tell them they're lucky to be buying from me in the first place, and they ought to be more grateful. If it weren't for me, they'd be in seriously hot water.
What are we gonna do? There's no talking to this guy.
Beginnen wir mit Thoma.
Good idea. Let's check back in with him.
Vielleicht kann Thoma da wenigstens noch helfen, weil der scheint ziemlich stur zu sein. Okay. Gehen wir zurück zu Thoma.
That was quick. You resolved it already?
Actually, we're having a little trouble.
Du musst uns helfen. Was? Du musst uns helfen, dir zu helfen. Wow.
No? Well, by all means, tell me what you need. I'll help as much as I can. Getting you to go fixing things when you've only just arrived is quite a demand.
Was weißt du über Werner?
Oh, that guy? I'm familiar. He used to be a bit of a sorry sight, selling shells that he'd collect on the beach just to get by, but he seems to have suddenly shot up in the world recently. I can only assume he must have found himself a patron after leaving the International Trade Association.
Huh. You're saying he used to be a member of the International Trade Association? So he's an Outlander too?
Yes. Couldn't you tell when you spoke to him?
Zumindest hatte ich nicht das Gefühl, dass er von hier war.
That's right. Werner was born in Mondstadt, then went into the shipping business, trading between Leah and Inazuma. When Inazuma closed to the outside world, he was one of a group of Outlanders that ended up stranded on Rito.
What a bummer.
The International Trade Association was initially very generous to him, but over time, with decree after decree, the association members found it increasingly difficult to make ends meet.
So he left the association and turned his back on them.
I'm sure it's more nuanced than that. I believe even the most ungrateful and cold-hearted of people still have some amount of gratitude and warmth left in them somewhere.
Alles klar.
Really? Is that all you need to know?
Well then, it sounds like you may have found a way in with him.
Wissen wir das? Verhandle nochmals mit Werner. Okay, versuchen wir es. Vielleicht können wir ihn ja umstimmen.
What are you doing back here? Just because I got plenty of time on my hands doesn't mean I want to waste any of it talking to you.
Zeit in Hülle und Fülle. Manch einer würde das als eine Form der Freiheit bezeichnen.
Huh? Where's this coming from?
Ein Badenlied wäre jetzt gerade perfekt.
Mondstadt? You were talking about Mondstadt.
Was, jetzt muss ich ihm noch was geben? Aha, irgendwas, was ihn an Mondstadt erinnert vielleicht. Oh, keine Ahnung, was ist denn so typisch Mondstadt? Ich würde sagen Löwenzahnsamen.
Goodness, I can sense it now. So familiar, but I can't remember the last time I was there. The scent of Mondstadt. Oh, how it takes me back.
Möge dich der Annewache beschützen.
Oh, my hometown. The home of freedom. How I long to go back and visit.
It's working!
So, trying to play my heartstrings like a liar, are you? I know what you're up to.
Schließe deine Augen.
Huh? What is this? What are you up to now?
Just close your eyes already!
Hör genau hin. Klingt das vertraut?
You mean the sound of the ocean?
Gilt der Tigerfisch holt ihn, als solange er heiß ist.
Leah Harbor. I can see it so clearly. Oh, and the sound of the waves. The calls of the merchants.
Möge sich das Feuer der Tugend ausbreiten.
Xiao lanterns. I'm right there at the lantern rite. Oh, look at them floating up into the sky.
This guy has a really active imagination. Either that or he really does miss Liyue Harbor.
Liyue.
Es soll einfach noch was von Leo geben. Das ist so typisch Leo. Ich glaube irgendwie der Chor ist.
Wait. Stop. That's enough. Don't make me relive it anymore. My poor heart can't take it.
Die Leute haben dich in der Vergangenheit unterstützt.
You mean the folks from the International Trade Association? And I suppose they are far from home, just like me. Often, I'll sneak down to the shore at night and listen to the sound of the waves. I like to imagine it's the voice of my hometown. I've run into folks from the association more than a few times doing just that, but I always hide my face and slip away. Don't you think I've wanted to talk things through with them and free myself from this anguish?
Well, no one's stopping you, so...
They're so resilient. None of them had anyone else to rely on, so they rallied together, committed to finding a way to survive. But I couldn't do it. I'm not strong enough. So I caved. Those people, they'd make the smallest of promises, offer the most measly benefits, and I'd do whatever they asked of me. And make Mondstadters look like the worst people in the world.
Das sind diese Leute.
All right. I'll tell you the whole story. It's eating me up inside, and I can't take it anymore.
You ready to talk now?
Internationale Handelsvereinigung wird dich beschützen.
But I betrayed them. I can't show my face there.
Come on, you scaredy cat. Look, you messed up, but now it's time to make things right. So come on, get it off your chest. What's the deal here?
It's a scheme by the tax collection Ashigaru, Keijiro and his companions. They start by overtaxing the merchants, then take the extra crystal marrow they receive and stockpile it. Once the merchants run out of places to buy crystal marrow, they get me to sell that extra stock back to the merchants at an extortionate price, with the proceeds going to the tax collection Ashigaru.
It's plain evil gouging them like this.
I'm their puppet, yes. But my cut is a tiny fraction of what we take in total. It's barely enough for me to live on.
Wir brauchen Beweise.
Evidence? You're right. Without conclusive evidence, he will never admit it. Now that I think about it, whenever I report back to him after a sale, he always heads to the same place. It's always made me suspicious. As it happens, I handed some Mora over to him not long ago. I can show you where he went if you want.
Really? Well, then there's no time to lose. Let's go.
Erste Stärkste vom Mondstadt. Beichte eines Fremden, spürt den Soldaten Kenshiro auf. auf. Okay, ja, das machen wir, aber das auch erst in der nächsten Folge. Wir sind endlich nach Inazuma gekommen, wir sind endlich hier und ich denke, es geht ziemlich spannend weiter. Ich freue mich schon sehr, sehr, wenn die Hauptstory wieder ein bisschen Fahrt aufnimmt. Nun denn, ich danke euch ganz, ganz herzlich fürs Zuschauen von dieser Folge Genshin Impact und wir sehen uns beim nächsten Mal wieder. Ich danke euch. Tschüss.
Have you